Well, great morning, everyone. So let's grab some cards and we'll look and see what they have to say today. So I think we'll grab this deck and just give them a ruffle shuffle here and just see what we've got going today. Let me move this back a little bit, give myself a little bit more room here. So the first thing out is about strength. So the reading's about strength. The energy coming into it is an ending of strength. Interesting. It's an ending of strength. Above it, we have pushed to the edge. The foundation is rapidly. So, is this about Trump's health, or is it about just the Republican Party? Could also be that. But it's an ending of a position of strength or a place of strength being pushed to the edge and rapidly moving. So what's going on today? It's about what's being shared. Above it, again, a repression, a mental stop, a pushback. And out in the cold. So is it that they don't want to share anymore out in the cold? This could also be about the food stamps and all of the other things going on. An ending of strength when it comes to a pushback. Let's see what the challenge is. The challenge is the families.
Unknown caller.
I gotta take this to the VA.
Hello, this is Dr. Blanca Aragon from your El Paso VA healthcare system. Annual COVID and flu vaccines.
They're just saying they've got COVID and flu vaccines. Okay, so the challenge are the people, potential outcome, things done by the dark of night, and this delusion. What's above it is, now this is my card for democracy. It's also a card by being ruled by emotions. It's also a card about genuine spirituality. But let's see. Foundation is what's being juggled. And above it, the long term, what's ruling this, what's driving it is about the long term. Okay, so let's look at this again. The foundation, rapid, out in the cold with what's being juggled. Above it all, pushed to the edge, a repression when it comes to the it looks like a strength is ending, what's being shared for the family and the delusion. I think it has to do with about the SNAP program and all of that stuff. Their lack of empathy. The lack of empathy when it comes to, but let's go ahead and we're going to do the clarifying read, and that should tell us more. The Repugly Uglies don't want to aid anybody. They don't care if people starve. They don't care if people are on the street. They don't care if people die. They just don't. What, Mr. Mickey, you bring your bear? Did you bring your bear? Did you bring me that nice bear to see? Can I see the bear? Did you bring me the bear? Okay, well, you can have the... Why do you bring me the bear if you don't want me to look at it? Crazy boy. He always brings it over and I've got to look at it, and then he wants to take it back. I don't know, Mr. Mickey. So let's see what we have. At the center of all of this, we have the White House. So let's see what we got. The center of it is the White House, of course. Above it, his desires, his greed, okay? His desires and his greed. The foundation, this abuse of power, okay? His greed, his abuse of power that's going on. Again, this new concrete thing that's going on when it comes to Trump, something new, concrete coming out when it comes to Trump and his greed and facing a loss, some loss there when it comes to his abuse of power and his mentally restricted. So this could also be talking about Trump himself and a loss of power because of his mental decline. The other side of it, the strength again, above it, the wheel is turning on what's being shared, and his delusion, his mental restriction, his delusion that's ongoing. I think he's got vascular dementia, and I've got a feeling that's what they were checking with the, if it was either the MRI or the, facing a loss of the White House. The wheel is turning, what's being shared about Trump and what he's doing, his desires, his abuse of power, this new concrete thing coming in with strengthening. Yeah, the stuff that he's doing now, going after his political enemies that are just bogus. So all of that, and I think the things he's doing, with just railroading, tearing down the White House, building himself an edifice, and all of that, I think is turning the tide with people, with him. So what we have else going on, we have the Knight of Wands. So wanting to go forward with some action when it comes to what's being given out to the American people, what's being birthed, feeling pushed to the edge again, and that mental retreat when it comes to families. Also could be some mental retreat when it comes to Magatonians, people supporting him as well, because the evidence is in hand with all this stuff that's up in the air, what's being overturned, things that he's trying to suspend, and wanting the truth to come out. His greed, what they're hanging on to, he's not listening, not taking anything in, their dark anti-Christian Christianity, and wanting justice, because this has been a nightmare. And so there are those that are fighting now for truth, the bloodied sword. Within this fight, and walking away, distancing from the Republican agenda. So it looks like part of this, with all of these things that are going on with the SNAP and the not wanting to give not wanting to give health care, that they know that if this goes through, their careers are ended, the Republicans. They're now trying to blame it on the Democrats, but if it goes through, they know exactly who's done this, that it's Republicans, and they're done. They're done at that point, okay? So yeah, they're from the White House. They're looking at Trump and sharing things now about his health as well. About his health. Something concrete, strength is coming out about his mental restrictions, okay? What he's tying up, his delusion, and with the wheel turning, he's facing loss, okay? And when it comes to his desires of abusing power, okay, from the White House, okay? So all of this is coming together. I think it has to do with SNAP, with the health care, with his health declining. What happened to Japan, where he's just wandering aimlessly, doesn't know where he's at, what he's doing? His speech that's going on now, when he's talking and he's railing about stuff that happened when he was in office and blaming it in Biden, saying Biden was president when he wasn't, when Trump was president. So it looks like this reading's about this mix of fuel that's going on, and that all of this stuff is coming up together, and they are losing power, okay? Their strength is ended when it comes to a political family, and when it comes to Trump in leadership and his health and all of that. So I'm going to leave that here. It looks like it is pointing to a lot of things. All of this stuff is coming together. His bad health, his mental decline, they're holding up the things for SNAP, his refusal, Keebler Mike's refusal, little grinder Mike, refusing to put in the new representative from Arizona. So the Epstein stuff, it looks like all of this stuff is congealing and coming together, and just really portending their downfall of these Republicans. So on that note, I'll leave that here, and we'll see you online.